Chernobyl tour. Let me welcome you on board of our bus. We're heading to the exclusion zone, so I hope that that's the place that you wanted to visit, but they didn't like promise you some churches.
No, turn around. I want to go back.
Oh, I was supposed to say that a bit later, right? Okay, well, anyway, we're going to the exclusion zone. That's where we're going to spend next 3 days. And first of all, let me introduce our small team that is going to work for you all this time. So the most important person in our tour is our driver. His name is Yuri, because he's the person who is responsible for our safety, who takes us to the zone, back home if we do behave, through all of the radiological and non-radiological routes. So that's why he is the one in charge. Yuri is not just a driver, he is also the liquidator. He used to be in the territory around the power plant a couple of hours after the accident. So, you know, he has a lot of the interesting stories to share, so we can also discuss those things. And even today, 32 years after the accident, he is still driving through the roads of the exclusion zone and Ukraine, so he is really a very good professional who knows all those roads. Concerning the bus, by the way, two things. The door opens and closes by some black magic. It's the automatical one, so you don't have to open and close it. And during all the tour, please let us know in case if you want to make it a little bit warmer or cold in the bus. Right now we switched on the air conditioner, so just need some time. Then, my name is Kate, and I'm going to be your guide for the next 3 days. It's pretty complicated to forget my name since it's been written on my back. But yeah, so, you know, hey you does not work this time. And in case if you've got any questions, like, what's the weather like tomorrow? How do the nuclear reactors work? What is going on around us? Like anything, please ask me. Because there's so much information that, of course, the more questions you ask, the more chances you give to yourself and to me just, you know, to share all those stories. And actually, this is pretty awesome that we're going for the 3-day because we do have time to visit a lot of the places, to discuss a lot of those things. By the way, is it the first time for everyone or someone has been to the zone before? You have once, twice, several times?
Twice already.
Twice, 1 day or several?
1 day.
1 day. Okay. So you know what to expect, more or less? Okay. And for the rest, is it the first time?
Yeah.
So you decided to go to the zone immediately for the 3-day tour. That's actually a great choice because you'll see that, you know, it's impossible to see everything in 1-day tour. I mean, it's really good to have the general idea about the area and to decide whether you want to explore more. But of course, when the more time you have, the more opportunities you have. Okay, so I gave you the maps of the tour, and those maps start from Kiev. So if you take a look at the map, at the very bottom, over here where we have Chernobyl tour trip route, we have the sign of Kiev. Approximately in 25 minutes, more or less, depending on the traffic jam, we're going to leave the border of Kiev and start our way to the entrance to the exclusion zone. And if you take a look at this part of the map, you can see the sign of the radiation. That's where the nuclear power plant is. Then you can see 2 circles saying 10 and 30 kilometer zones. Because the exclusion zone consists of 2 parts. The buffer zone around the 10 kilometer zone, which we call 30 kilometer zone, and the 10 kilometer zone, which is just like the very heart of the power plant. So we're going to enter the 30 kilometer zone at the place called CP Detatki. On the maps it means checkpoint of Detatki. This is the place where police officers are going to check all the passports, because in exclusion zone it's like, you know, state inside of the state. It's like you are passing the border to another country. And after that we're going to start our exploration of the zone. But before we go to the zone, when we leave the border of Kiev, we're going to make a quick stop at the petrol station just for your convenience, because the thing is that, like concerning organizational things, first of all, concerning the bags, again, guys, sorry for the inconvenience, we're going to drop it off like at our first stop in the zone, I mean the bags. But again, we could be having the big bus, which would not really take us to many convenient and interesting places. So we're going to drop it off in Chernobyl just when we get there. And then we'll check in the evening, but I'm going to leave the bags in one of the rooms, so it's going to be much more convenient. And another organizational thing is that today we're going to have a dinner, which is going to be around 7 p.m. probably. So one of the reasons why I'm making a stop at the petrol station is just to make sure that you do have enough snacks to survive till the evening, because it's going to be a long day around 1. Probably everyone wants to have some snacks. We're going to walk a lot, explore a lot, so in case if you have some snacks, that's awesome. In case if you still need something, you can buy it at the petrol station. Showing that was the agricultural area, the sunflower for the same thing, and the power plant. Concerning the power plant, by the way, at the back side of the power plant, they pictured cooling towers. And the thing is that the black smoke that comes from the cooling power towers, this is actually not the smoke, this is the steam. But most of the people don't know that, and even if you Google pictures of chemical production, in most of the cases you can see huge pipes, cooling towers, with the smoke coming out. It looks pretty effective, but this is just the steam. At the industrial side of the power plant, we're going to see actually some of the cooling towers, but I guess that the person who repainted the sign did not know that this is not the smoke, that this is not the steam, this is the smoke. It's not the smoke, that's the steam. And that's why it's pictured black. You're going to recognize the tradition of making those welcoming signs, because after we drop off our bags and explore Chernobyl town, I'm going to show you the welcoming sign for Chernobyl town itself, so you'll see it also. So this is like the first bite of the story. We're not in the zone yet, but we already have the sign. And by the way, right now this area looks very peaceful, but after the accident it was overcrowded, because those liquidators that I mentioned used to live in the camps, and the camps would be located in the fields or in the end of the roads that go from the main one. And the traffic jam on this road was so heavy that in case if you needed to get on the main road with some of the vehicles from your brigade, for example, an officer had to go in the middle of the road with the red flag and stop the traffic jam, because otherwise sometimes you could be waiting at the side for like 30 or 40 minutes because of all the armored vehicles. Now it's pretty peaceful, actually, pretty quiet, but back then that was overcrowded. Behind the sign, we have the village called Detyatki that gave the name to the checkpoint. You'll see some of the houses in a minute on the right side, but the village is actually much bigger.